All right, hello friends. So we are in week 4 right now, and I promised our first midterm to be in week 6. So it's about 2 weeks away. All right, so reminder, got that test coming up. And what I'll do is I will release this midterm 1 module, most pages on it. I'll add more and more as we get closer to it, but the first page that I want to talk about is the midterm 1 info page. All right, so let's go there and talk about the midterm. So here's probably the most important information for you. So here is when it will be. All right, so midterm 1, I'll make it available on Canvas between this time and this time. All right, 12 p.m., so noon on the 19th of February and 8 p.m. on the 20th. That is week 6, right? Wednesday and Thursday. Okay, so those are the times when you'll be allowed to take the test. A timer for an hour and a half will start counting down once you click start though, so make sure to start it at the very latest by 6:30 on the 20th, right? The stuff that you'll see on the midterm are the following. So I'll take topics from all these bad boys here. I will not include functions. I plan to not include functions on the midterm though. So arrays and vectors are the last potential topic that you might see. That's my promise to you, and then the rest all applies. Here's just a list of topics that you should expect to see. I will go easy on arrays and vectors if I give you any questions on those, all right, since that's that's the most recent topic. So I promise that I'll ask you very basic questions only. I'll save the harder ones for midterm 2 if I give you anything on these, okay? Everything else, definitely fair game. What else? Yeah, make sure that because lab 3 is not going to be due before the midterm, you still need to do it because I am absolutely going to ask you questions about loops. All right, expect that. So definitely do the lab early if you can. And yeah, so here's the format of the midterm. It's going to have the following kinds of questions. So fill in the blank, like you fill in a few things, and then also it'll just be open-ended. You write code and submit your code questions. All right. And as far as the rules go, the test is going to be closed book, but you do get the following. You get to use a little cheat sheet that you make yourself, one page of like printer paper's worth of a handwritten cheat sheet. You can put whatever you want on it, both sides, as you're taking the test. All right, so you can use that, and of course you can have as much scratch paper as you want, as long as that starts blank. All right, so those are the rules for the test. This is the one extra thing you get is your cheat sheet, and it has to be handwritten and not printed. All right, yeah, so no internet other than you on the page on Canvas as you're taking it. Can't go on the server, can't use a calculator, anything other than that. All right, so yeah, remember, like I told you in the syllabus, you're going to be recording yourself taking the test, and you're going to submit that recording after you finish taking the test. I've given a bunch of a bunch of instructions on the actual test page when you take it, and I've also given you a sample test so you can practice following all those directions for recording yourself. All right, so just keep in mind that I have to be very strict because too many people have cheated with ChatGPT, sorry. Yeah, so I've given you the sample test to practice recording yourself, and I'll talk about that next. And then finally, here is the like the last midterm that I gave in the last semester I taught the class. So study this one and expect to see similar questions. Okay, so that's the format and the rules. I have given you a place to practice recording yourself. So I've made a little step-by-step walkthrough video. Please go and watch that. I walk you through how to use my recommended app called OBS. It's the one I'm using to record this right now, actually. So I'll walk you through how to record yourself and get everything ready for the test. And then I've also made this sample test and sample video submission link for you. This is not at all for a grade, it's just for you to practice, because the real test is going to look a lot like this. All right, so the real test eventually will be down here on Canvas. You'll take it on the right day and like submit your video here. But this sample test, of course, do the walkthrough, watch that first. But the sample test and the video submission page are essentially exactly what you're going to see on the real deal. All right, so here is, it looks a bit different because I am a instructor, but here's what it's going to look like for you when you start the test. It's going to say a stop sign, don't start the test until you followed all the directions. And so here's the directions that you'll follow if you're taking the test at home. All right, got to do all these things, and I walk you through all of them in the walkthrough video. All right, so definitely go watch that, please. And yeah, so you'll do all those things, and you'll make sure to like start recording before you take the test, and don't stop the recording until after you submit the test. And that's how it's going to work. There are some other rules if you're taking the test in the classroom with me. You don't have to do as much, since I'll be able to hear you and see if you're like using your phone or something. Who knows? So yeah, it's a little bit less to do if you're in the classroom. So yeah, just read the rules, practice the rules that apply to you. And I think that's what I want to say. You can keep doing the sample test if you like mess up the first time. It's not a big deal. Keep trying until you get it right and the recording looks good. But yeah, follow my walkthrough. Try this. For you, you can just like click preview. And like, I guess it'll be like start for you. For me, as an instructor, it's preview. But when you click start, it's going to show you these instructions again, but like the timer is ticking now. Just like the real test. So you scroll down, like this is what the test will look like. You type your answer. What's 2 + 2, 4. You start typing code. Include IOStream, whatever. Just all this stuff to practice. And so you'll be recording yourself as you do it. You click submit quiz. And like it's just like it's the real deal. All right, so you'll get some practice. And then once you've submitted the quiz, you've recorded yourself, here's a place that you could upload your sample test video just to make sure you know how to do that when it comes time for the real thing. So neither of those are for a grade, it's just for practice. Okay, so yeah, please yell at me if you have any questions about that. Do the practice stuff, watch the walkthrough for recording yourself, and then the real test will be here on the time that it comes out. You'll be able to click it here and start, and then you'll submit your video recording to this place. All right, that's what it will look like. I think that's what I wanted to say. So yeah, just to submit your video recording as a student, there'll just be a place that you can drag your file into once you got it ready. And yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to say as far as the logistics and the rules for the midterm are. And then also, every time I give out a test, I like to give an extra credit assignment. So let me explain that too. I'll release that as well. So this extra credit assignment is due for everybody, even if you have any extensions. It's due for everyone in the class February 18th at midnight, so 11:59 p.m. on the 18th. That's just the day before the test comes out. Okay, so that's when it'll be due for you. And what I'd like, if you would like to do it, of course it's not required, it's worth up to 2.5% extra credit, and no late submissions at all are allowed. This is the due date for everybody. All right, so just get it in time, start early if you want to do it, and your job is to make a little review video. So this is just me forcing you to study and make a little review video, and you'll post it and your peers can see it and they'll love you for helping them study. Okay, so I think it's a win-win. And so here, if you would like to do it, here are your requirements. You have to do the following. Give a bunch of examples, like have a little mini lecture essentially. Give a bunch of examples of stuff that is fair game for the exam. So like look at the list of topics on the info page and come up with some cool examples that you want to go over, all right? And then just pretend to be a teacher, like demonstrate, go over your examples, demonstrate the concepts that that you need to demonstrate in order to solve the problems that you've made up, stuff like that. Yeah, it's pretty open-ended. Let me know if you have any questions, I can help you. If you want just a half of the extra credit, you can make a 10-minute video. You don't have to like edit it or anything, just post the raw video. And if you want the full 2.5%, make please a 20-minute video going over a bunch of fun examples. All right, and just make sure, because this is extra credit, you have to do extra work, right, to get extra credit. So you have to make something brand new. You have to write new code, maybe make new slides, draw brand new diagrams. You cannot, for example, go over a lab you've already done. That's not extra, right? You cannot go over slides that I gave to you in class that I made myself, right? And I worked hard on them. So you have to make something yourself, all right? Just keep that in mind. That's what it means to be extra and do extra credit. Let me know if you have any questions about your idea. I can make sure that you're going to get credit before you start, okay? So yeah, just keep all that in mind. That's my word of warning, I guess. But yeah, pretty open-ended ideas. Come up with some cool examples and record yourself. You should be very, very comfortable recording yourself because you will have practiced, right? You will have practice for the actual test. So again, I can help you if you have any questions about any of that stuff. That's your extra credit assignment as well. And I think that's all that I wanted to say about the midterm. So yeah, just yell at me if you're worried about anything. I can help. And I think that's all that I want to say. So I will see you later.